Well, look at that. I didn't turn it on. Well, again, we'll start over. Welcome to the live broadcast from the North American Bear Center. We are excited to be here today and have a live broadcast. And now I'm hoping my lips are moving with my voice. Is it working good? But, boy, did this season go by fast. And we want to thank everybody out there for watching today. It's just a joy to be here and be able to be outside, although sure is quiet. There is nothing more depressing at the Bear Center than when you walk in and you know you're not going to have any guests or customers here. It's nice to see the staff. It's nice to be together and get ready for next season, but yet we sure get bummed out about it a little bit because it gets quiet. We also got Carolyn here joining us, our volunteer coordinator today too. And I got a little note here. I get a little older. I need these notes to make sure that I'm doing things right. But it is our season close. We closed on Sunday. We ended it with what they call MEA weekend here in Minnesota. It's a teachers workshop and convention. And we had an excellent close to the season. We had close to, I think, 550 guests here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday being our last day that we were open. We had a very, very good year. It turned out nice. We had some oddities as the season went on, as we opened, which hit us with the fires and hit us with the smoke from the fires. And then we had some COVID scares and restrictions again, that not for the Bear Center so much, that came into effect. And we had a severe drought going on. So that all coupled together started our August season. Started out real good, and then about the 15th, when it started spreading around about the fires here and everything, it started to dwindle as far as business went pretty quick, didn't it? And boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, we were getting a little concerned, but it still turned out to be good. Ultimately, your support out there and all the guests that were here helped us get through it, and we ended up having a good, safe season. We were concerned about our bears and our enclosure because the fires were far enough away, but the way the conditions were, it could be explosive at any time. And it's good to say that we kept you informed on that, but we didn't have any issues. And boy, was that a thankful season. I think it is. We were excited. We had our interns here. They started arriving early in the season around, what would it have been, Spencer? April? In May?
Mid-May, the first one came here.
Yeah, mid-May, the first one was here, and it continued with those 6 interns. And then in the fall, we got our interns started coming here right around the first week or so in August. And we wanted to say thank you to all you guys out there, and I think Spencer probably wants to give you a thanks here in a second for that. But our volunteers on site and our volunteers out there, including the pond chatters, all the moderators, all the people that help us out, that are out there, we can't say enough about it. And I just want Spencer to say a quick word about the interns, if you could, Spencer.
Yeah, happy to. I was real impressed with all 9. Well, actually, at one point we had 10. So we tried some new things this year. It was my first year fully running the program, and we learned a lot. And I'm excited to take those new things into next year with a new batch of interns. But yeah, I just wanted to extend a thank you. All of the interns this year were great. We had some really, really good interns. They did a really good job throughout the year. Sometimes not the greatest conditions with what was going on and stuff, but they stuck through it. A lot of them even working 6 days a week versus 5 and stuff like that. So thank you for all your hard work this year. I'm looking forward to another batch of good interns, and we're already starting to work on that. So we're getting stuff ready for the 2022 interns to start applying here, hopefully within the next couple of days or weeks.
Yeah, and I know as you look at that, they got to experience quite a bit of adversity. I mean, we had, you name it, we had it. We couldn't even run our waterfalls after, I think it was, the first week of August? And that takes away a lot of the effect of the Bear Center, but yet our guests really enjoyed themselves. We got great reviews on TripAdvisor and on Google. All across, we got great reviews. And I got to tell you something that really makes the Bear Center successful. It really does within our community and around. And ultimately, the Bear Center helps the economy of Ely, Minnesota, and the surrounding areas. And the interns being out and about and enjoying it that helps the economy up here. It's just a good thing. And the volunteers, we had a lot of on-site volunteers, and of course we got a lot of off-site volunteers. And Carolyn, being our volunteer coordinator, can kind of talk about that a little bit, Carolyn, if you want to step up here.
I'd like to thank all of our volunteers to begin with. I haven't calculated all of our hours yet, but for on-site only, I'm easily over 500 hours, and that is an extraordinary amount of hours for people that are only from the states, and most of them just local. When restrictions lift and we start getting our international volunteers and volunteers from further away, our numbers are going to go even higher. The other thing we got this year that was kind of new is volunteer groups from like church groups and things. Yes, yes. We had groups come that did all sorts of things for us. The first group that came painted our sea crate for us. They painted it a nice green color so it blends in better than the bright red that was sitting out there. But then the next group that came from the same church group, they came and put bear paw prints all over it. So they got their hands all dirty and they were making bear prints, and it looks fantastic. So we're getting a lot of stuff done. We've got some new ideas for next year, and hopefully those groups and some additional groups will come back and join us. And again, thank you to all the volunteers. We absolutely could not do this without you.
And boy, she speaks so true on that. We also had some trail work done from our trail with volunteer groups too. And I think the VCC supported some of that and helped us out there too. And we thank them for that. And what other group was there? It wasn't VCC. It was what group?
I'm not sure on the group that ended up working out there because I think there was some issues, but there's going to be more work as well from that VCC group. There is. Yep. So not necessarily soon, but Ted, you might notice Ted have some action that he's not used to this time of year in terms of him moving around and looking off into the woods. We will have VCC coming back out to help clean up that trail more.
We both know that when Ted hears people, he thinks of food. So I think the only way Ted would ever probably go into full hibernation is when he doesn't get daily food, correct? And he normally eats, his normal schedule is the 12th to the 16th of November when we actually stop feeding Ted. So it's normal to feed him up to between the 12th and the 16th, and as past dates have shown with Ted. But we'll talk about the Bears in a minute. But we want to thank everybody for their support again. Without you out there helping us as volunteers, and I could name groups and programs, but it takes so long because there's so much effort put into it. And we'll be talking about a program that's going to be kicking in real soon here in a minute. But, one of the things that you look at is our fundraising groups that are out there. And one of them is we weren't able to have the lily pad picnic again this year. But Linda and her crew were able to put together an online auction. And the online auction was successful. It was over $5,000 donated to the Bear Center just recently. In the last, week, I think, that she brought a check here and presented it with Lynn, Dr. Lynn Rogers. Yeah.
It was either last week or the week before. She brought it out to Lynn at the WRI and presented it to him. And so it was really quite nice.
And boy, thank you, Linda, and that group out there. Thanks for your good hearts and helping out. But we've got a huge, it's our biggest fundraiser of the year coming up. And it's a huge one. And Spencer, what's that called? What's that huge fundraiser called?
I believe it's called the Give to the Max Day.
Give to the Max Day. Last year we exceeded our goal because of you and your giving and your generosity. We exceeded our goal. This year our goal is $40,000. And it's a steep one. It's a big one, but we can do it.
That is a steep goal, but I think we can do it.
You think that we might be able to see Dancing Bear during that period?
Yeah, Bouncing Bear may have to make another appearance.
Dancing Bear was on a show that I used to watch as a kid. Sorry. But we're going to have a great lineup of people during that event. But before that date, which is the 18th of November, which Give to the Max starts midnight on the 17th, which would actually be the 18th once it turns midnight. 11:59, it's the 17th. There's early giving again this year, and it starts on, let me look at my dates here just to make sure. It starts on November 1st and goes through the 17th. That's in a couple days that starts, right? Now, each person that gives during that period, each day goes into a drawing for a $500 chance for a chance at a $500 golden ticket. To give one away per day, and it's based on a drawing from the people that gave that particular day before, I believe it was. So we've got 17 days to give prior to that, and I think last year we reached around $8,000 during that, maybe even $9,000 during that. Let's see if we could exceed that this time because it gives us a chance at $500 daily. I think last year we did. We got one. It was a normal giving. We got a $500 one, so that was really good to see. So it does work. So early giving is fun. You go online. It gives you all the directions to the North American Bear Center. And let's start kicking that off on November 1st, correct?
It's in a couple of days.
And this year we get to be together. So Spencer and I are really going to get worked up. And we're going to have a lot of special guests. I'm sure Karen will get worked up too. I haven't never really seen her fired up yet, but you know, I'm thinking that she'll do okay. So you?
I used to work the night shift. I'm good at midnight.
Okay, I'm not. But anyway, we will be here at about 11:30 on the 17th. Kick it off at midnight. Stay here till roughly 1 o'clock, and then the next day we'll be back on it. I think at 8 o'clock, something around there. Just keep watching for the schedule. And I got to tell you, I mean, it's going to be fun. We're going to have some special guests, maybe even some surprise special guests that you haven't seen in the past, which would be really nice. We're going to be talking about what we're going to be going after, and it's going to be familiar, but we're going to have some plans for you. We're going to actually be able to show you some drawn plans for our expansion and renovation of our bear enclosures and fencing. Yep, we're going to go for that again because I think everybody knows if they go to the store, things have went up. And they keep going up in price. And so we're going to have to go for that $40,000 to help cover some of those increase of expenses. And at the same time, it's going to be a very costly project because we want it to be right, want it to be safe for our bears. And it's very important that we do that. So anything you want to add to that, give to the Max?
I'm just real excited for another one and a full one because, yeah, last year I think we each took like a 3-hour shift of being alone, and it was not as fun. No matter how much sugar you ate, you just didn't have that same excitement level as the years past. So I'm excited to have a real Give to the Max Day again.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll tell you, maybe we can keep you guys up and have some fun with that, right? And then, but let's remember that date. It starts November 1st. That's a few days away. Monday. It starts Monday, and we watch it. I'll sometimes go on and look at what it's doing 2-3 times a day just to see where we're at. And I know that the Give to the Max volunteer group watches it hard, don't they? They watch it really hard. So let's remember that date, and we'll mention it to you again. There'll also be email blasts, and there'll be stuff online at bear.org. I think we're going to talk about our bears a little bit. I've been gone for a little bit, but I understand that Tasha is maybe in this den right over here.
Tasha is in the rock den. I'm actually surprised she hasn't come out to say hi on the broadcast.
Guess she's really denning, huh? And, of course, Lucky's denning, and he raked in stuff, right?
Yeah. So Lucky's last shipment of raking materials was given to him on Sunday, and he did go ahead and get some of that in. I think he still has some left to do, plus the natural leaves that are falling. He's been raking as well and doing some trimmings of his own to rake into the enclosure. He's pretty much done for the year. We have seen him come out to do more raking, but he's not very food motivated, and he's very much in slow motion. Tasha, I was expecting her to come out today. It looks like she didn't. She's got tons of materials as well, but we'll continue to see her probably gather from around the pond as we did last year. We're really pumped that she is hibernating down there because we'll get to watch a lot of that behavior. Ted is still getting fed, and as we talked about, that's because he's Ted. So he'll be getting fed for a little while longer, making sure he gets his meal a day in. Tasha, maybe if she's coming out and showing interest in food, but today she hasn't. And again, we've been out here and hasn't really shown signs of coming out to say hi to us. So probably won't be giving her anything unless she needs it. But we will get to see that cool raking behavior. So yeah, and Holly we haven't seen in almost a month. Not quite a month. Yeah. So Yeah, it's been a while. It has been a while, so we haven't seen
We
her in
don't
a
know.
while, and we don't expect to see her until April. So.
Well, I got to tell you, for those of you out there thinking, aha, you got somebody to rake your yard, Lucky is not out for hire, because I could actually use him at my house. So there's no luck in you getting Lucky to rake your leaves, because he's already raking his own, right? And Holly, well, she's Holly. What can I say, right? And Tasha, she's going to give us a whole nother season in that rock den. It is. It really is kind of neat. I mean, I can remember for a long time saying, no bear will ever hibernate in that. Goes to show how much I know. Huh? Well, we talked about the bears, so now we're going to talk about projects. Well, through the winter months, talking about projects, I'd like to tell you that we're going to do something major here at the Bear Center, but we're just going to button things up. I know Carolyn's going to be working on some videos, display updates. What else?
Lots of exhibit updates. We're going to refreshen a few things and put some pins in where they're needed.
How would Dr. Rogers say it? Right words.
Right word.
We're going to write some words. Actually, we're just going to reorganize a few.
Yeah, it makes it all fun. And, so we're going to be doing that. As far as internal projects go inside, it's just going to be button things up, processes, procedures, and just kind of getting things stable and cleaned up. Plan for next year, plan for our interns. We're looking at some programs with the Ecology Hall and different things like that. It's really a fun challenge. We've got the board and our treasurer that will be talking to quite a bit on different things that we want to do. But our biggest project will be in the spring. Starting our enclosure. And we're told that we should not have a problem by CLD fencing, correct?
Correct, and we're, again, real excited to get that started.
Yes, and I'm sure you are too. We've been talking about it for this will be our third year, but it ain't a cheap project. For those of you out there, if you've ever put a fence up in your yard, you know how much that can be. Imagine doing a zoo fence. It's a lot, but it's going to look just beautiful, and the bears are going to have a nice, safe, visible enclosure that will amazingly disappear with its color into the woods and everything, so it'll look so natural. So that kind of talks about projects. The staff here from the Bear Center definitely wants to say thanks to everybody for the season. It's be Missy, Debbie, Amy, Dr. Lynn Rogers, who always is thankful for everything that everybody does for the Bear Center. And if I didn't mention Dr. Rogers and his input and his drive to keep the Bear Center successful, I should get punished if I didn't mention that, because his heart and his soul is in this place. And without that, this place wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't have staff. We wouldn't have anybody. He not only created a safe haven and the educational facility for bears, but he also created a job market, a job position for many, many people and volunteers and you name it. So from the staff, we want to thank you for this season. And then I'm going to get the big question that we've been getting. I've been getting emails. Missy's been getting emails. Are we going to have calendars and Christmas cards? Well, guess what? We're going to have calendars and Christmas cards. In fact, Lucy just texted us because she thought I'd forget about that, but I wouldn't forget about it. And we're going to have calendars. They're going to be here and available for the day after Thanksgiving purchase, so for our Thanksgiving Christmas kick-in. And our Christmas cards are now on, our holiday cards are now on order, correct? They're on order, so we're waiting for those. So for those of you out there, to answer your question, yes, we're going to have both of those. And I know Linda, our graphic designer, is working hard at this. She's working, in fact, probably working harder now that I just said this. But I can only tell you that they're going to look nice, and it's going to be the Christmas holiday, or I should say holiday card, is going to be really, really super nice. Great design. I've seen it. It looks awesome. Somebody, and I wouldn't want to make anybody feel bad, but we did see a great group of people here without you, and I know Dr. Lynn Rogers says this quite often. Without the volunteers, we wouldn't be who we are today. Carolyn started out as a volunteer. Now she decided she wanted to make a little money. So, yeah, and with Judy McClure, who is always with us and around us in heart and soul, and is still in Ely here. is been good covered by Carolyn, and she gets guidance from Judy quite often in that area. So we want to thank Judy McClure too. And Sharon will be here during Give to the Mac, which will be fun. Then we can pick on her a little bit. So be prepared for that. But again, one last reminder. Give to the Max. Early giving starts November 1st and goes through the 17th. And each day, the amount of people that give is the amount of chances we get for that $500 golden ticket drawing. And you can win it every day. I don't think it's win and you're out. I think it's a daily thing we can keep winning. But the others would know about that in our group that we spoke to today more than I would. I hope I'm not misspeaking on that. But from that point, I guess we're going to be ready to have our off season get going, and we're going to move forward, and we'll be updating you again here in the future. I'm not sure of the exact date, but we'll be back on and let you know how we're doing for the early giving. And watch for posts on bear.org, and please spread the word around about the North American Bear Center. Please spread the word for Give to the Max and early giving. Friends, family, workplaces, maybe your workplace does donations and they're looking for a worthy place to give it to. Please mention Give to the Max for the North American Bear Center. And we thank you, and we hope you have a great day up here in Ely, Minnesota. It is starting to turn to winter. We've been bonus days. We've only seen, I think, one morning I woke up to maybe a dusting of snow at my house. But other than that, it's been bonus days here in Ely, right? So we just hope for snow, and we hope for good ideas and good giving. And we thank you all for joining us. Have a great day.